Welcome to class today. Welcome to my little dining room studio. Today, class is designed for gentle practice to bring movement through the joints without overtaxing them. This practice will be really good for those of us who have fibromyalgia, Ehlers-Danlos, rheumatoid arthritis, those autoimmune diseases where you just get inflamed and regular movement doesn't always feel good and nobody quite knows what kind of, you're told to do exercise, but stretching is not always the right thing to do. In fact, quite often it's not the right thing to do to take care of your body. What I want to take us through today is just a gentle movement through the joints to work without a lot of intensity to keep us off of our knees, off of our wrists in a way you can still get a lot of movement through the joints and bring synovial fluid, a little conditioning to the muscles without overdoing it. So after practice, see how you feel tomorrow and the next day. Sometimes when we're dealing with inflammation in the body or autoimmune, a couple days later, you just pay for working out too hard with exhaustion or pain. And we don't want that. So you're looking for that just the right amount of work. See how it goes for you today. Notice if you can feel while you're practicing what you're feeling, where you're feeling it, and kind of rate your intensity as you go. So you're going to want a mat, a blanket, and a couple blocks, and a strap. You can use a belt. I'll show you what I've got going. All right, welcome to practice. I've got my mat. I've got a blanket for later. I've got 2 blocks at the front of my mat. And I'm going to have a strap that I want to be able to reach when I lie down. So I'm going to place that right in front. If you are using the playlist that I included on Spotify, you can go ahead and hit play now. And go ahead and roll all the way down to your back. Let your arms open wide. And with your knees bent and your feet on the ground, find that little natural curve in your pelvis. Take a moment, roll your shoulder blades underneath you so they're flat against the ground. You feel spacious and open. With your eyes closed, begin to relax your face and your jaw. Soften your belly and begin to connect with your breathing. As best you can, we'll begin this breathing pattern and keep it through the whole practice. So slowly inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, exhale through the nose. Breathing in and breathing out smoothly. And your only goal with this is to keep the pace really even and to feel your belly lift as you inhale and drop as you exhale. Steady and even. As you breathe, allowing your nervous system to really open up the pathway of communication from the brain to the body. And then feel your feet on the ground. And as you exhale, begin to push your feet down and push them forward so that your pelvis tilts and your low back presses into the ground. Then do the opposite. Hug your feet towards your head. Let your pelvis roll until your back arches and your low back makes a little bridge away from the ground. Exhale, round your back, low back to the mat. Inhale, pull the feet towards the head, arch the back. Exhale, push the feet away, roll the tailbone towards the ceiling, and hug those feet in. Now, once you push the feet forward again, find that perfect little spot between the 2 moves. You've got just a natural, lovely curve in your low back, and hug your right knee into your chest. And we want this knee hugged in real comfortably, and your hand might go under that knee. If it feels okay, you can straighten out the left leg, although, if it tugs on your low back like it does for me, I'm going to put the left foot on the ground. And then point and flex with your right ankle. So I'm going to point and make a little foot fist And take an inhale, pull the toes towards the kneecap and spread the toes wide. Exhale, curl the foot, point at the ankle. Inhale, flex the ankle, spread the toes. So when I get that foot online, find all the little muscles in the foot. And going at this slow pace of your breath, you'll be able to really feel the foot and notice it. Now, the next time I point the foot, I'm just going to start a little clockwise circle, spinning at the ankle, circling the foot to the right, and then spinning those ankle to the left, counterclockwise, and then centering the foot. And you might notice a little heat building there. That's great. Take an inhale and just straighten out that right. It's okay if this leg needs to move forward. It's okay if the leg doesn't straighten all the way. Exhale, bend the knee, hug it in, and squeeze around your fingers. Inhale, straighten the knee, let the leg move forward. Exhale, bend the knee, squeeze, hug it in. Inhale, straighten. Now, as you bend, if you're really contracting the hamstrings, you're going to feel them under your fingers. Breathing in, it goes straight. Exhale, bend the knee. One more time. Big inhale. Big exhale. Then I'm going to let go with my hands, straighten the knee, nice straight leg. Take a big inhale, drop the whole leg down, moving from your hip joint. Exhale, lift that leg up. Inhale, drop, and I'm going to flex at the ankle. Lift the leg, and I'm going to point at the ankle. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift. Now, if this is feeling like too much intensity on my low back, I can actually bend the knee and still move at the hip joint. So feel free to bend that knee. It will make it less intense on the low back. Okay, now hug that knee in and place your right foot on the ground. Hug your left knee in and begin to point and flex. Exhale, point. Inhale, flex. Move from the ankle and let the toes and all the muscles in your foot respond. It's really good to get these feet out of shoes in the middle of January. A little heat, a more proprioception through that foot. And then as you point, take that little counterclockwise circle, a few of them. Your breath is still really steady. And then you're going to take those toes the other way. Feel the foot articulate. If you feel any cramping, you're going to back off on that. And then centering it, take an inhale. Get the left knee straight or let it move away from you if it needs to. Exhale, bend the knee, hug it in. Inhale, press forward. Exhale, hug it in. Good, and again, inhale, press forward. Exhale, hug it in. Good, and then I'm going to get that leg nice and straight. Open the arms. Take a big inhale, drop the whole leg. Exhale, lift the leg up. So moving from the hip, dropping the leg down. You can point the ankle and then lift it all the way up. Flex the ankle as you move from the hip and lift. 3, 2, and one more. And then hug that knee in, place your foot on the ground. Take a big breath. Feel the energy from your feet up your legs to your hip joints. You might also feel your low back and pelvis a little bit. Notice that. Then as you exhale, hug both knees in, place your hands right over your kneecaps, and take a few little stirs, little circles to the right, massaging the back of the pelvis. And take it the other way, little circles to the left. And then center your knees. Place your feet on the ground. And then I'm just going to lift my pelvis, send it over to the right, and hug those knees in. And then drop the knees to the left and stretch your right arm out wide. Now your neck can turn any way it wants to. It may want to turn away from that, both knees over to the right hand. The breath is steady and smooth, and you can reach out through your right fingertips. Feel the opening across your chest. As you exhale, hug those knees in. Feet on the ground, pick up your pelvis, send it a little to the left, and hug those knees back in. They drop to the right side, and the left arm reaches out. Now, I like to take my right hand on top of the knees, give it a little support. If there's anything you need to do to make your low back happy about this, you're going to do it. Head turns away from the knees. And then roll all the way over to your right side. Use your free hand, press yourself all the way up. And then we're going to come all the way to stand. You're going to come all the way up and face the short edge of your mat. I've got 2 blocks right here at the top of the mat. Standing with your feet hip width, go ahead and look down. Make sure your feet are hip width. Take a big inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Bend the knees generously. Exhale, fold forward. Let the spine round, drop. At the very bottom, you might want those knees a little straighter. Firm the belly. Inhale, lift your front pelvis off your legs. Pull your chest forward, long spine. Exhale, fold in, release. You can bend those knees, and then with your knees bent, roll up like a rag doll. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Now, when you really feel the spine while we go, inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, heart forward, lift the belly off the thighs. Exhale, fold right back down. Inhale, rise, knees bent, rolling like a rag doll. Feel the spine as you go. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now we're going to try it a little different, and I want you to see what you like better. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Knees can be as bent or straight as feels good. Inhale, long spine, heart forward. Now really lift that belly. Exhale, fold right back down. We're going to do that again. Bend the knees and keep lifting with a long spine versus a rounded one. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Inhale, just like that again. Reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, we lift halfway. Ardha Uttanasana, hands on those shins. Exhale, fold and release. Find that half lift, generous bend in the knees, rise all the way up, knees straighten as you reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up. This time, exhale, bend your knees. Place your hands on your kneecaps. Lift your tailbone, arch your back. Big inhale, open the chest. Exhale, round your spine, lift your belly. Inhale, arch your back. You can slide your palms all the way up the legs. Exhale, round. Widen your shoulder blades. Inhale, arch your back, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Round one more time. Now this time, find a neutral spine. Press and rise all the way up. Big lift. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, fold. You might want to really bend those knees. See what you need. Inhale, lift your chest. I'm going to find 2 blocks. Bring those tall blocks under my hands and step the left foot back. From here, chest forward, back leg straight. Push strongly to that front heel, and I'm going to take the block under my left hand closer to this right foot and take a nice, easy twist to the right. Now, I could take this hand wide as well. Sometimes that space will give you what you need to twist. This front knee can be bent or straight, but you're just happy and breathing. Take one more big breath. Exhale, release, and step that back foot forward. Breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Now rise your favorite way. Inhale all the way up. That might be a long spine. It might be rolling like the rag doll. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward again. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, right foot back. Now, from that back heel, I'm going to push back and pull the chest forward. Nice, long, active spine. The block comes closer to your left foot, and we twist to the left. If you want that extra space, take the block a little wider. See what you need. My back leg is super awake. I'm squeezing the right buttock, pressing through the back heel. Exhale, release that twist. Step forward as you inhale. Exhale, drop in, release. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, folding forward. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, left foot back. Now I'm going to find my feet, make sure they're hip width, find my balance. Bend the back knee, crescent pose, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, drop low. Inhale, float up. Exhale, drop low. Now I don't have to, low is relative, right? I don't have to go really low. We're gonna do one more and watch. You could keep it just a little bend in the knees. See what you can do. And then release. Step the back foot forward, big inhale. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way up and pause. As you exhale, bend your right knee. And you could keep the toes on the ground and work on balance, or you can pick that right foot up. Hands can go under the knee or over the knee. Stand nice and tall. Focus on the leg you're standing on, lifting your chest. Release that right foot. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift your chest. This time, right foot back. Exhale. Feet are hip width. Find steadiness through the feet. Crescent pose. We can bend that back knee. Exhale, bend both knees, drop low. Inhale, float like you're flying on the breath. Exhale, drop. Inhale, rise. Good, and then bend that front knee. Fingers to the blocks, step forward, breathe in. Exhale, we fold. Rise all the way up. That might be the ragdoll, might be long spine. Exhale, bend your left knee, shift into your right foot. And then maybe pick up that left knee. Now it's okay if you keep your toes on the ground. You might need that support. And then mountain pose, releasing. Good. Then go ahead and take your blocks, turn to the long side of your mat. I'm going to put the blocks in front of me. Open the arms nice and wide. And take your feet under your wrists, give or take, about as wide as your wrists. Then hands to your hips. From deep in this right hip, turn your right foot to the short edge of your mat. Pick up your left heel, slide it back so it's a little pigeon-toed, and open your arms. And from here, I'm going to try to level the waistband of my pants. Nice level waist. Exhale, bend that right knee. I'm going to look at that right knee, make sure I can see my big toe. It's not falling in. My hip is taking that right knee rightward. I can feel the hip working. Take an inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, bend that right knee. Inhale, sweep it up. You choose your range of motion. Exhale, sink. Inhale. Exhale. We make this about the breath. Inhale. And exhale. One more time, breathe in. And warrior two. Holding for 5 breaths, breathing in, breathing out. If this feels intense in your hip, you can kind of get this right knee a little straighter. You can go a little lower. See what feels right for you. Inhale, straighten out that front knee, right knee, hands to your pelvis. Now I'm going to put a gentle bend to this right knee. Take an inhale, tilt the pelvis. Take an exhale, level at the waist. Inhale, tilt the pelvis. Exhale, level the pelvis. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Feel that hip crease deepen and exhale. Straighten out that right knee and turn your toes so your feet are parallel to the short edges of your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, hands down, find those blocks. Here we go. I'm going to take the blocks forward. Move back so you can see me. Take them forward so much it feels like my arms are beginning in my back hip pockets, getting really long on the side waist. If you want to bend those knees a little, you can. If you feel like you're benefiting from that really strong hamstring stretch, knees go straighter. And I'm really pressing the hands into the blocks. Pull your chest towards your thumbs. Feel a little bit of action in your upper back. Then on your next exhale, draw those blocks in. Inhale, rise up. You might need to bend your knees to do that. Open the arms nice and wide. From deep in the left hip, left foot to the short edge of the mat, right heel back. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the left knee, reach up. Exhale, sink and track that kneecap straight over the middle of the foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sink. Two more. Use that breath in through the nose, out through the nose. One more time. We're going to hold for 5 breaths in warrior two. You track that front knee. I want to feel the left hip work. That's the one I'm here for. And I'm going as low as feels smart in my body today. That might be quite high. 2 more breaths. And then inhale, straighten the knee, reach up. Exhale, hands to your pelvis. A little bend in that left knee, tilt your pelvis. Take an inhale. So this hip crease is going to deepen. Exhale, level your waist. Good. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. These micro movements, they're really important. And as we get older, they're even more important. These are the ones we often lose mobility with. Good. And then turn all 10 toes straight forward, feet parallel with the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to the blocks. I'm going to take the blocks forward again and really slide them forward. So if you want to look from the side, I've got my hips are in line with my feet. My butt isn't behind them. It's not in front. Trying to get foot and hip join in line. And then from the pelvis, the sitting bones to the fingertips, it's almost like a down dog situation, but I don't have to have all that weight in my hands or shoulders. 3 big breaths. Encourage your breastbone to move in the direction of your fingertips. If you are flaring your front ribs and kind of dumping down, firm the belly. Lift your front ribs up away from the ground, just using enough abs to make that happen. And then walk the blocks underneath your shoulders, come halfway up. Exhale, hands to your hips. You can bend your knees to make it easier on your back. Rise all the way up. Inhale. And exhale, feet together right in the center of your mat. Good work. Then you're going to take your blocks and you're going to face the short edge of your mat. So now you've got your blocks there. I'm going to turn towards you. With your hands on your hips, keeping everything level, go ahead and bend your right knee. And you're going to notice that we want to go off balance. We want this left pelvis to naturally kind of swings out. I'm going to strengthen right here on the upper outer thigh and hip area and hug it in. And suddenly you're really tall. These are great muscles to find. Go ahead and bend your right knee. Your right toes are light on the ground. Inhale, knee opens. Exhale, you're going to close it inward. Inhale, find that range of motion. Exhale, spin. Now, if that's feeling good, continue that little motion, lifting your toes off the ground. But if it's helpful to keep them down, keep them down. Okay, now for this last 2, I'm going to lift that knee as high as it'll go, but I don't want to hike my right buttock up. So I'm just really trying to isolate these movements of the hip. Good. Place that right foot down. I feel a lot of heat in there. You probably do too. All right, right knee or left knee bends. You're going to notice I call this sassy teenage daughter. You don't want it. You hug it in. No sass. Light on those toes. Take an inhale, open the knee. And an exhale, cross it over the midline of the body. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Good. So you can continue this way or you can lift your toes off the ground. If I need more support, I'm just going to put those toes back down. All right, 2 more. I'm going to lift the knee as high as it comfortably goes. No pushing too hard. Just moving. Nice. Knee centers and releases. Good. And then go ahead and bend that right knee. And again, find and corral that left hip. Toes to the side. Now your foot can stay toes on the ground or bring that foot up over your ankle. If you're really feeling open in the knees and hips, you might take that foot up over the knee for tree pose. But all of these are fine. I'm going to place mine on the shin, reach up. And then reach really strongly through your fingers. As you push down to your standing foot, you reach up, you find all of this length. 3, 2. One more breath. Get as long and tall as you can, and knee to center and release. Good job. Second side, bend that left knee. So I don't want my pelvis to move. It's gonna wanna move, it's gonna wanna wiggle. My whole body is in mountain pose, except for this left hip and leg, right? So now I could do all of my tree pose right here, toe on the ground. This is great. You're still getting strong. You could put your foot up the shin or over the knee. Okay, your choice. Get steady where you are and inhale, arms overhead. This pose is just as much about the leg you're standing on as it is about this hip. I'm not super interested in this left hip, actually. Good. 2 more breaths. Breathe in. Reach tall. Notice where you feel sensation. And then bring that knee to center. Good. Inhale, sweep your arms up. As you exhale, chair pose, bend your knees. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. Hands on your knees. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, arch your back, pull your hands up your legs, hug your shoulder blades together. Exhale, round, spread those shoulder blades wide. Inhale, arch your back. You choose how intense. Exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Neutral spine. Find all those natural curves. Arms overhead. Exhale, mountain pose. Nice. All right. So if you have a wall, you're going to go to your wall now. Okay. And from here, I'm going to come here. You could use your wall or you can use your hips. I'm going to bend the right knee and put the right foot against the wall and try to push that wall away with my foot. I'm pushing 3, and you can see my knee is under my hip right now. I'm waking up the back of this leg. 2 and 1. Then I'm just going to release, and I'm going to take the other foot, same distance, bend that knee, foot to the wall, 3 breaths. Feel the inner leg, press that part of the leg back, keeping everything fairly neutral. And release. Now, what I'm going to do is just see. If that felt good, I'll repeat just like that. The other thing I can do is just walk 2 inches forward, and it's going to work the extension of my hip a lot more. So I'm going to bend the knee, bring it back, and begin to push. Now, I don't want to back bend. I'm going to hug it in. I want to work just from this hip and strengthen the hip. 3. You can have hands at the heart or the hips. 2. 1. And release. Both feet next to each other. Switch feet. Take that left foot against the wall. Push. Inhale. Could you press your inner leg back, like right where the inseam of your pants or shorts are? And then gently release. Good. Hands by your side. And then come back to your mat. I've got these blocks here. And I'm going to take my blanket. I'm going to bring it over the middle of the mat. So I have some padding now. Come back to mountain pose right between those blocks. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, step your left foot way back. Clear that blanket, bring your knee to the ground. So now my back knee is pretty padded. I'm going to inhale, straighten the front knee. Now that's relative. You might have it very bent and still get a good hamstring stretch. Cool. Exhale, sink forward. I'm going to do that a few times. Inhale, get the leg straighter. Exhale, sink forward. And as I go forward and back, I'm trying to keep my tailbone right in the center line of the mat. Good, let's do one more and really work the ankle and the foot just like we did on our backs at the beginning of class. Then gently sink forward. Good. Take a couple breaths, just let your hips move forward. We're not pressing, we're not trying to go deep, we're just taking it where it goes. Then I'm going to tuck the back toes under. And try to get that back foot to the ball of the foot. You'll feel a big stretch there. If you have plantar fasciitis, this is going to be a lot. You might just have a couple breaths before you're done. Good. Then inhale, pick up the back knee and leg. Exhale, step forward and fold in. I'm going to bend those knees generously and take the hands behind the calves. Let the head go. Hug your elbows in and shift into the front of the feet like you're letting the crown of your head get heavier and heavier. And slide your hands to the front shin bones, straighten the elbows. Pull your chest forward as you push your hands into your shins. Then move your hands to your blocks and step right foot back, clear your blanket, bring your back knee to the ground. If you can see me, right, we tend to like swivel our pelvis. I'm going to take the tailbone, center it, and pull the left sitting bone and hip back a little bit, okay? I'm pretty squared forward. Then inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, sink. Good. Almost like you have a piece of floss in your hip joints. You're just kind of trying to clear out some junk. You're just moving and feeling some smooth fluid gliding through those hip joints. And as you're moving, feel that left foot and ankle, and you can kind of amplify and wake up the muscles on the foot. Now stay forward and pause. You've got these blocks for support, and I'm just really going to center my tailbone and drop forward. And if I feel tension in the low back or the front of the hip, that means I'm going to pull the hips back. Even a half inch can make a big difference in making it feel better, but it should feel good. Okay, if my foot will let me, I'm going to tuck those back toes under, push the heel back. You can see I have the ball of the foot down, trying to get to it. Most of us can't, but I feel that big foot stretch. Now, in this position, can you squeeze that right buttock and the back of the right leg? And eventually it's going to happen so that the leg goes straight. Let that happen. Take an inhale. Step the right foot forward. Exhale, bend your knees and fold in. And you might do this whole forward fold with your knees very bent. You're going to take those hands behind your shins, hug the elbows in, and fold. The legs might go all the way straight. My hypermobile people, please be mindful that you're resisting your shin bones forward. You're not feeling the stretch behind your knees. Good. Then hands on the front shins, elbows straight, firm your belly, lift it off your thighs, draw your chest forward. Exhale, fold in and release. Inhale, rise all the way up. You might be ragdolling still if you're doing what feels good. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Nice. Awesome. So now I'm going to take blanket, clear the mat, and have a seat. Now, if I come down to sit and I find that my knees are really high or my low back is rounding, I'm going to take my blanket and fold it, bring it behind me, and have a seat. So we ideally would like the knees a little lower than the pelvis. See what you can get. And then take the right shin in front, cross it. And then I'm going to just roll forward on the sitting bones enough that I have a little natural curve in the low back. I don't want it arched and I don't want it rounded. I want a nice little neutral pelvis, little curve in the low back. And then feel the axis of your spine, that plumb line long and tall. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, turn to your right. Inhale, sweep those arms up overhead and turn to the left as you exhale. Sweep those arms up, breathe in. Turn to the right. Use your core to do that movement. Sweep the arms up, breathe in. Turn to your left, exhale. Now listen for the change. Arms up overhead. Take your left arm down, your right arm up and over. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Right arm down, left arm over, exhale. And again, repeat. Inhale up. Side stretch over to the left. Inhale, reach up. And take it over to the right. Inhale, reach up. twist to the right, exhale. Inhale, sweep it up, lift that rib cage, twist to the left, exhale. Inhale, arms up overhead. Now left arm down, right arm over, side stretch. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead and go the other way, exhale. Inhale, arms up overhead and twist to your right and pause. I have my hands holding. Ever so gently, I'm going to start moving the ribs with the core muscles. Moving from that origin of motion, supporting with the arm. Sweep those arms up, inhale. Turn the other way, exhale. And go a little slower on this side as you're moving out of that first twist. The ribs and the spine do the moving and the arms support. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. I'm going to take the left hand under the right wrist, and that's important. I don't want to loosen my wrist by grabbing the hand. I'm going to grab the forearm, lift the right shoulder blade up, and pull this left elbow to the side. So I get a little tractioning under that right shoulder blade. You can decide how much. And I might even pull those arms back behind my head just a touch. Inhale, reach up. Take right hand to left forearm under the wrist. Slide your left shoulder blade up as you add your side bend. There's a subtle pulling of this right elbow rightward. I don't know, can you tell your right from your left apart anymore? Big inhale, reach those arms up, shake your arms down, exhale. Good. Then glide those arms back, interlace your fingers behind your back. With your elbows bent, hug your shoulder blades together and imagine that your elbows could kiss behind you. They won't be able to, you're gonna try. So the first thing I feel is a big stretch of the front shoulder. That's fine. I also though want to feel it across the pectoral. So feeling the breastbone move forward, feeling the chest. Inhale, release. Exhale, give yourself a big hug, right arm over left. Climb your fingers around to wrap around the shoulder blades. Your head can drop. Open the arms big, like you're ready for a big hug, and switch which arm is on top. Big exhale. Head drops. Inhale, open up, and a couple of shoulder rolls. Just rolling, go the other way. And then a nice neutral spine. Feel the crown of your head lift and drop right ear to right shoulder. Separate your back teeth so this back jaw is dropping and slack. Using that steady rhythmic breathing, turn your head down, look past like at your right elbow. At a diagonal, inhale, keeping that right ear low, turn your head and look the other way. Exhale, look down at that right elbow. Inhale, look the other way. Now turn your head, look down, but then this time, inhale, reach and level your head and pause. Exhale, go the other way, left ear to left shoulder. Then I'm going to let this right shoulder be nice and heavy. And then turn your head, look down at your left elbow. Inhale, turn your head at a diagonal trajectory up where the right wall and ceiling meet, and then turn, look down at your elbow. Inhale, turn, look up where ceiling and wall meet. And then look down and pause. And level your head right back up to center. Slide off of that blanket. I'm going to take it and have it ready for Shavasana by just rolling it. We call this the taquito roll. So I take my blanket, pillow, whatever you got at home, and I've got a little roll. I'm going to put that off to the side for later. Move those blocks out of the way and have this strap where I can reach it. Roll all the way down. Take a moment, come back to where we started. Feet on the ground, shoulder blades against the earth. Back to your breathing in and out. This is the most important part of your practice, that steady breathing. Find your strap, take it under the ball of your right foot, Okay, so we have this leg nice and straight. And I don't care if this foot is way forward, that is fine. I'm going to move from the hip and see the range of motion I have accessible and bring the foot in the direction of the head, whatever that is. And it's also okay to bend this knee. I can still get a really good stretch here with the knee bent. I'm going to pull gently down with the strap to get a little more Achilles and calf stretch going. If that feels like too much or if your foot is cramping, you stop pulling so much with your strap. 3, 2, steady, steady. And then sliding the strap off, I'm going to lay it on my belly and take the right ankle over the left thigh and hug those legs in. If it's really hard, if your legs are far away from you, the strap is going to go under the left leg. And then it's like making your arms longer. You can hug it in. If it's comfy for you, there you go. Let your eyes close and just feel your breath. And release both feet down and just pause. Take a couple of breaths. Feel the right side of your body and the left side of your body. Notice how they feel similar or different. Hug your left knee in now and take the strap under the bottom, under the ball. I like it under the ridge of the ball of the foot right there. And pulling the toes gently down towards your belly and moving the toes in the direction of your head. Really doesn't matter how far you get. So much of keeping functional movement is less about stretching and more about keeping and maintaining our ranges of motion or improving those. So I think sometimes we get confused as to what our objectives are. And I just want this muscle tissue and connective tissue to be really healthy and conditioned. Good. Then release. Bend that left knee ankle over the right leg and hug those legs in. So now I'm feeling the outer area of my left hip and left upper outer thigh. So external rotators and abductors. Breath is steady and supportive. And releasing your feet down. Good. Feel your feet on the ground. Take your right leg forward. Imagine that you're standing on this foot. So I'm going to have the toes and the knees pointing straight up. I'm going to have that ankle dorsiflex like I'm standing on it. And I'm just really going to start pushing the right foot away from my right shoulder and then sweep your right arm up overhead and get this really long side stretch going on. Grow as long and tall as you feel you can. And release. Bring that arm down and your right foot to the ground. Stretch the left leg forward nice and long. Reach your left arm up overhead. As you push your left foot forward, reach your left arm overhead. You can dial that as intense or gentle as you want it to be. And then release. Arm down and foot to the ground. I'm going to roll over to the side and grab my blanket and maybe put some layers on, get comfy for Shavasana. Today I'm going to take this little roll that I have going and place it under my knees. This is one of my favorite Shavasana. This can give you a little bit more support for your low back. And then rolling all the way down. As you get comfy in your final resting pose, notice if your low back feels tugged. You could bend your knees, put your feet on the ground, let your knees fall together. You could take a little footstool or couch, put your shins up over it. That can feel awesome. And then go ahead and just settle in, relying on your breathing. Stay connected to the breath. As best that you can, keep your attention in your body. noticing how lovely it feels to be alive and breathe. As we inhale, the belly expands and opens. And as we exhale, it gently falls and we empty. You can feel the grace and gentleness in the breath itself. As you let your body truly rest and incorporate the practice. After a few more deliberate, slow breaths, allow your breathing just to return to its normal pace and rhythm. Continue to keep your mind in the present moment, your attention scanning the body and encouraging a deep release. Bring all of your attention to your body. While it stays very relaxed, notice how the air feels against your skin, how the ground supports you and hugs you in. Move your awareness through more subtle movements of the body, like the heart beating and the movements of the lungs. You can sense and imagine processes of your digestion, the blood moving through the body. Notice the breath moving in and out of the nose, a sense of being alive, connected to your life force. And you might notice any emotions moving through you, any sense of equanimity or groundedness. Notice any churning of the mind, thoughts, images, processes of the brain. Stay as still as you can and imagine, without doing it, imagine moving your fingers and your toes. Notice that brain to body connection and then turn it on and move your fingers and your toes. Maybe even scrunch your face or wiggle or big stretch if you want. And then hug those knees in and curl over to one side. Take a couple breaths and just notice how it feels to turn the body on as you rise. Using your free hand, find a comfy seat. Feeling your tall spine, you can sit back on that blanket and center your hands right at your heart. All that mindfulness that you used on your mat, the gentleness, the kindness, how would you like to take that forward as your practice changes off of your mat and into your daily life? So make any intention shifts right now. And if you'd like to sing with me, I'll sing Shanti 3 times, meaning peace, peace, peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May this practice bring us equanimity and inner peace. May it keep us healthy and strong. May that translate to a more kind and gentle world. Thank you for being here with me. Let me know how practice went.